If you were to walk up and down Hollywood Boulevard, you would find approximately 78 psychic parlors. Some read palms. Very few read tea leaves. More often than not, their preferred form of divination is the tarot. If you are lucky, if you are fortunate, but if you seek the truth, you will find the parlor with the red brick wall and purple neon sign. Just the other day, a man walked into that parlor. For our story, let's call him Drew. Drew P. Wiener. He groaned when he stepped inside, and he groaned as he made his way to the table where he demanded a reading. The psychic gave him a quick up and down and said, "You have a better way to spend the next 10 minutes. They were silent. He lingered on that silence until he broke it by saying, "No, I don't think you understand. You see, I had a dream that I was on Hollywood and Highland in the thickest fog Los Angeles had ever seen. I wandered for days, weeks in a sea of mist and light, until suddenly the mist was gone. I saw a red brick wall, a purple neon sign. When I woke up, I wrote down an address. This address. I didn't know this place existed, so I need a reading." The psychic knew exactly what type of person Drew was. He was leading man handsome, but had a heart so wicked that he was so proud of. He carried headshots everywhere he went. He was a nuisance on planes, trains, and automobiles. He only ever tipped 10%, and the women in his life were like condoms. Single use and disposable. And yet, knowing all of this, the psychic felt no satisfaction for what came next. They knew Drew was coming, so the psychic drew 3 cards to seal his fate. They told him that he would get a reading, but he wouldn't like it. The first card was the Wheel of Fortune, which the psychic took and placed on the table. But it was bizarre because the second card was a duplicate identical Wheel of Fortune, which they took and placed on the table. But the final card in the reading was death. The psychic took the cards and began to mix them up. They danced at the psychic's fingertips until they stopped and said, "One of these cards will be your future. And if you don't like what you picked, you can always change your mind, but by the end of this you will only have 1 card and you cannot see what you are choosing." A smug smile went across his face as Drew picked the bottom card. It was death. But he gave a nervous laugh because he knew that there were 2 more options, so next he picked the top card, and it was death. That smug smile vanished, for there was only 1 card left. Death. And that's when the psychic leaned in close, right next to his ear, and whispered, "You get what everyone gets. You get a lifetime." This scared him, So Drew ran from the table, and he ran out of the parlor, sprinting down the block until he hit the next, sprinting faster and faster, block after block, his heart skipping beats, and when all of a sudden he collapsed at Hollywood and Highland. His wicked heart had stopped beating. He understood what the psychic meant when they said he had a better way to spend the next 10 minutes. At his death, it felt like the fog had cleared. He thought about all of the bad he had done and all of the good he wasted. His final breath gave way to his final thought. He spent his entire life chasing the wheel of fortune. But that just ended with a terrible, gruesome death. Maybe if he had done things differently, his life would have been better if he wasn't such a devil. One for the collection.